Let me cut across to my guest now. Joining me now is Poonam Mutreja. She's the Executive Director for Population Foundation of India. Also with us today is Tara Deshpande. She's an author and actor as well. Poonam, I can't wrap my head around the story. What's going on in our society? How much do we lust power that we're ready to kill our own kids? I mean, and I fail to understand how, and it's not a knee-jerk reaction, it's not something, he planned for this, he plotted for this. He was, talking to the present sitting Sarpanch over there and thinking of ways in which he would kill his own child. I mean, I don't know how to make sense of this.
It's very hard to make sense of this. It's numbing. When I read this report, I felt we reached a new low in not just hunger for power, but for killing a child, for becoming a sarpanch. If we look at this through the lens of hunger of power, it's important to recognize how policy itself shapes that hunger. When eligibility to contest elections are linked to a two-child norm, political ambition becomes entangled with family size, and the pressure to remain eligible can push individuals to destroy their families. And the tragedy is that Maharashtra, the fertility levels are 1.7, and they brought this law in 2005, and they're below replacement level, and they have this law, and this law is a disincentive for women and children across the country. There is research, 5 states, another 5 states which have this
Poonam, can I just
norm.
pause you over there? I mean, for a minute, can we set the law aside? Like, what kind of humanity are we becoming? What kind of citizens are we? Yes, we can debate about the law being right or wrong, but is that... I mean, I just, like I said, I don't know how to make sense of this. Who are these kind of people? Are they mentally not well? Who are these families who are allowing this to happen? Because remember, in this case, the family has not gone to complain.
I know.
They did not. The mother has not gone to complain. Or probably she doesn't know. We don't know what the truth here is.
No, but this is where the lack of power that women suffer, including losing their children. This is a murder, but we are constantly doing sex selection. You think women want to do it? No. It is the social norms and the men, I'm afraid, that make these decisions. It shows not just a son preference. This shows that we have a hatred almost for a girl child. This is the worst thing that has happened in at least my understanding of the law or the social norms. But people have abandoned their children in the past, or wives, to get this. We are a society whose social norms and way of thinking really needs to change. And when the law does not do it, I can't help raising, because I'll tell you why,
I get your
Sonal.
point.
I'm
No, I
saying
get your
what
point.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Sonal, I'm saying this because for 20 years, I have relentlessly fought this two-child norm, because it discriminates against girls and women, and children have been given for adoption. Nirmala Butch, a senior bureaucrat, did this study. I am pained because nobody listened and did, except 5 states that did do away with the two-child norm. What is Maharashtra doing? I am afraid while it is horrendous what this man did, but society, I'm just numbed.
I know. I'm echoing your sentiment there. Let me bring in Tara Deshpande here. Tara Deshpande, last 2 days, if I look at the 2 stories that really shook me up, one was a father raping his own child. The second is this one. But like Poonam said, we now understand, after having covered gender for so long, I understand that rape, when it comes against kids, is not about pleasure, it's about exerting power. This situation as well is about also lust for power. how far, how damaged are we and how damaged are men in our society, especially, and I'm not talking about the middle class, which seems to be the only one with the moral compass left, the only one which exercises any kind of right and wrong, the only one which is paying taxes. I'm not even talking about that. This is happening in our villages, in India 2, India 3, Bharat 2, Bharat 3, as they say it. To what extent will men go to exert power, to remain in power?
This was obviously an extremely tragic event, and as I was trying to look it up and see if it's happened in the past, I wasn't able to find any other situations in which something this specific has occurred in the past. So I was quite grateful to see that. But the killing of children in India, especially the girl child, whether it's female infanticide or it's domestic violence, it's happening on a daily basis. It's not new that a parent has buried their child alive because they don't want to have another girl child. The problem in India is that women have a very low status. They are still treated as if they're cattle or as if they're property. It's like, we're still living in parts of the Vedic age where it's believed that the life of a woman or of a girl child is less valuable than that of a man, that she has less of a right to live. And it is seriously concerning, no doubt. This law also, which was introduced as late as my the other
As
speaker
Poonam said,
on
yeah, yeah.
Poonam said very correctly, was introduced in 2005. I understand population control was so necessary in India at a time when poverty was at unprecedented levels. Malnutrition was a huge issue, but malnutrition continues to be an issue in Maharashtra even today. And if you live in a democracy, you have to recognize that the right to have children is a natural birthright. Uh, it seems kind of contradictory for us to be telling people that you can only have two children to run an election to get a position in the panchayat. Similarly, what if we had the reverse law and said that those running for office have to have two children and be married in order to run for office? That would be ridiculous too. So I'm really wondering whether that law is necessary anymore because, the replacement rate 2.1, we have fallen way below that now at 1.6, 1.7. So either you get rid of this law or increase the number of children people can have. I don't know what choices our government will make.
I'm just thinking, I never thought I would read news like this. I would have to report on a news like this where a man has killed her own child, not for money, not for dowry, not for honor killing, not for this and that, because we thought we'd seen it all in India. But this has to be a first. For contesting, he's not even sure that he's going to become the Sarpanch. Just to contest, he's willing to sacrifice his own child. Like, that's how cheap life is in India. That's how compromised a woman child, a girl
if you
child
look
is
at
in
past,
India as well. It's just,
you look at
just
past
crazy.
history, kings did it all the time. They kill their brothers, they kill their siblings. It's not as if human beings aren't capable. One hopes that the system does not allow them to think like this or does not allow
Let
them to
Poonam
become like
respond
this.
to that. Poonam?
But look, we do female infanticide as well as feticide all the time, and the middle class too. In Delhi, infanticide is the highest. So we just have to we have to do something spectacularly tough on not just this man, but on the um, on the not just killings, but the rapes, the all of this that women are suffering. And killing a little girl is a new law, as was said, and we've got to, not just getting rid of the two-child norm, but we've got to put in place solutions as well as uh, strict behavior, social norms which absolutely cannot violate young girls or
Yeah.
women. It is a package.
Yeah.
It happens in so many different ways, and it is time for us, for this
Yeah.
country, not only to hang our head in shame, but do something about it. And the men also need to
Yeah.
step in. And I'm afraid I am not going to accept any more laws that lead to also
Yeah.
such
In some form or
horrendous
the other. Yeah.
acts. You know, this is a time, and this
Yeah.
tragic as this incident is, we must do something immediately, and the country has to come
A lot
together
to
to
think
do
about,
something.
a lot to learn from this. And you're right, we need to hang our heads in shame. This is not the society India prides itself into. But for the moment, Poonam and Tara, thank you so much for joining us on this very, very important news.